Hi, my name is Paul Keeley. I work in Palladium Security. In this short video, we're going to have a look at Clarity, how it works with SecOps, and how it can really help you simplify your security posture. What's this tool? The security portal for Google SecOps. It's a simple single portal. It's powered by Gemini. We've integrated an MCP server, so you can just talk with natural language to query what's happening in your security environment. It's easy to use, and it's pretty much like a level 1 automated SOC. Where does this sit? It's inside your GCP instance, connected to your SecOps instance. It's a one-time deploy from us. You just deploy it and you start using it. How does it work? Well, it uses the Google SecOps triage agent to take the alerts inside your case, enrich those alerts with Gemini AI to try and give us a much higher fidelity score on do we have a false positive or true positive, and what's the risk associated with that. Who could use this? Well, anybody who has Google SecOps could use this, even if you have a mature, developed security operations center. But who we focus this on are, people who've bought SecOps, maybe don't have a dedicated security team, or maybe the security team is one person, and that person's a little bit overwhelmed at the moment. And we want you to be able to use SecOps, get the best out of SecOps, even if you lack a little bit of experience with the tool. Why do we build it? It's because no matter who you are, SIEMs can be a little bit overwhelming. There's a lot of information and a lot of data packed into the SIEM and packed into your case wall to help you really respond and get the best out of the environment. But maybe you don't have a dedicated team, and what we really want to do is make this whole process simpler. We want to simplify security. We want to give you clarity into your SecOps environment. In SecOps, I have a case, and the case has 3 alerts in the case. But some cases could have up to 20 alerts. I mean, this one here has 20 alerts that you have to go and explore the alerts and try and work out, do they all add up to a serious problem? And one of the things that Gemini does is it allows us to take the alert in SecOps, send it to Gemini, and we're able to do an investigation on the alert. And here you can see this is a true positive, high confidence, and it explains all the steps that it has done. The thing is that when you have a case with lots of alerts, the investigation has to be run, and then you have to add up what does it all mean. And so in our SOC portal, when we look at the same case, 2811, it's a true positive, user has downloaded an executable. I can go into the analysis and it tells me, hey, look, this is what's after happening. This user, Tim Adler, is after downloading a whole bunch of Trojans onto a machine. It gives me the findings, and then it shows me the investigations that were run in SecOps on every alert to help me get to a really high fidelity risk score to know this is what I need to focus on. Okay, so when it's not a true positive, we can just go close them. We're not going to focus on them right now. We're only going to focus on this because a lot of tech has been able to tell us, hey, this is a problem. And imagine you are somebody who's just coming to this, like we said, you're just getting used to SecOps. You're like, my God, what does all this mean? Well, we have built an MPC server where we are able to go into further investigation. And in the investigation, I'm able to just use, you can see it's loading the case, I'm able to just use plain English to help me investigate what's going on. Here you can see I've just said, can you summarize this case and what I need to do in 5 lines? And it's going to take all of this data here, and it's just going to fire it into a 5 lines. This is what's happened. This is what you need to go and do. You know, it's like it's high confidence case. You've downloaded a malicious executable. What should you do? Isolate these 4 hosts. Boom. That's what you need to go do right now. You need to isolate these 4 hosts. There's actually a next step where it gets better. And so what I've just done is we can see in the alert that Cobalt Strike was used. And I'm going to ask the AI to now change its persona to a tier 3 SOC analyst and tell me about Cobalt Strike. And now what it does is it moves from tier 1 to tier 3, and it's going to give me a more detailed explanation about what I need to understand about Cobalt Strike. Okay. And you can see it's going through in much more detail what I need to understand about Cobalt Strike. So in the original intro, I said this is a that's tier 3 information. Whoa, this is what you need. So in the original intro, I said, hey, if you didn't understand or know very much about SecOps at the start, this is a great tool. What I'm actually showing you now is there's a whole bunch of personas, security operations personas built into this so that you can say, okay, show me this from tier 1. Oh, that's a problem. Go into tier 3 or become a threat hunter. Or there's a whole series of personas that you can call to get really detailed, pinpoint information about this on the spot. Just like the same experience you'd have when you're using Gemini to ask it about what vitamins to take or should I buy this new watch. You're able to get this focused on your data, on your case, on your alert inside your SecOps. And that's the beautiful power of Clarity by Palladium.